Hello and welcome to the August edition of Gradcast. I'm Vince Greco.
And I'm Naviere Walkewicz, class of 99, coming all the way from a remote studio here in North Dakota.
Coming up in this edition, a special honor for a special football coach here at the Academy. Speaking of football, we've got several graduates playing in the NFL. Also, we'll take a look back at the Long Blue Line weekend. Tailgate season's right around the corner, and did you know that the Sabre Society is celebrating a special anniversary? All that and more coming up on this edition of Gradcast.
Vince, it's going to be a great session. Really excited to talk about all the things that you've just recapped. Should we start with the news?
Let's do it. And why not start with Acceptance Day that was just a few days ago right here on campus, Naviere. You probably remember that from just a couple of years ago, right?
Yes, back-to-back years. But this year for the class of 2029, as they're coming in, something I think is really interesting for our grads to know about. We have just over 70 legacy parents. That means grads who graduated from our institution that have cadets in the class of 29. So pretty exciting with this Acceptance Day.
76 basic cadets have one parent who graduated from the Academy. 15 cadets had both parents attend the Academy. So that is really cool.
Yes. So it's it's been an exciting week for them, the families, and for those cadets as well. And of course, classes have begun. So I'm sure that many more cadets, I wouldn't say that they're excited, but they're getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah, you're probably right about the excitement part, but they are probably glad to get it going, take that next chapter here in their academic and athletic careers at the Academy. And speaking of athletics, the U.S. Air Force Academy Association and Foundation, in partnership with the Air Force Academy Athletic Corporation, are putting together an endowment to honor head coach Fisher DeBerry for his football excellence endowment in honor of the legendary coach. This is long overdue, Naviere. We're going to raise $2.5 million. Part of that will go to put a statue that will last in perpetuity in front of the Kuchera Legacy Center at Falcon Stadium. And then the additional money will help support football excellence for years and years to come. But this is long overdue. Coach DeBerry was here when you were a cadet. Mm-hmm. When I was a journalist and worked at KRDO TV in Colorado Springs, I spent many hours in Coach DeBerry's office as we talked football, we talked Academy, and I could not ever get over watching Coach DeBerry eat his peanut butter and jelly and banana and mayonnaise sandwich.
Wow. Well, I didn't get to see that, but I can just say, even though I didn't play football, Coach DeBerry has made such an imprint on so many of us, and I'm sure many graduates will be very excited to help support this and move it forward. So that is, like you said, well overdue, and we're really excited.
We really are. And if you want to help support that, you can log on to our website, or you can go to goairforcefalcons.com, the Athletics Air Force website, and learn more about this and the remarkable 23 years that Coach DeBerry was here. He's still the all-time winningest coach here. Just a great individual and a great honor and something that is long overdue.
And speaking of winningest athletes, don't we have 3 grads in the NFL?
Wow, spot on, Naviere. We sure do. Jordan Jackson graduated from the Academy in 2022. He currently plays defensive tackle for the Denver Broncos. Trey Taylor won the Jim Thorpe Award for Best Defensive Back in college football in 2023 and currently plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. And last but not least, Bo Richter graduated from the Academy in 2024 and is now playing outside linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Naviere, it is training camp, and as you know, things can shuffle, but at the start of training camp, what an honor for these 3 Falcon football players.
Truly an honor. And since I'm here in North Dakota, I'm going to have to make a point to get over to that Minnesota side of the house here pretty soon.
That's a great idea. And on the academic side, this is equally as impressive. We've got a Truman Scholar. Cadet First Class Mark Tang, class of 2026, was selected as the Academy's 27th Truman Scholar, pursuing graduate studies in international security. So Congratulations to First Class Cadet Mark Tang.
That is incredible. So those were some exciting pieces of information in our news. Why don't we move on to our updates?
Let's do it. And why not start with that Long Blue Line weekend? What a special time here at the Academy.
Oh my goodness, where to begin, Vince? So, Long Blue Line weekend is our homecoming weekend. It really is an opportunity for graduates and really all supporters to come back to the Academy outside of
Mhm.
reunions. We pack about as much as you can into a weekend, and we even kick it off starting off on a Thursday. But this particular Long Blue Line weekend, we kicked it off. We had March back on the morning, on the Friday morning there, where the class of 29 was marching back from Jacks Valley. We had over 200 graduates participate in March back, Vince. Just incredible. And I saw grads from the class of 69 all the way into the 2020s participating in March back. So I think it's really a wonderful opportunity. If you haven't participated in it since you marched back from Jacks as a cadet yourself, highly encourage you to think about this in July of 2026. But we had March back, and then the graduates had a chance to sit with the basics in Mitch's. And Vince,
Mhm.
I don't know if this is one of your favorite meals since you've eaten in Mitchell Hall at times, but we did have hamsters. So grads
Nice.
know, yep, the chicken cordon bleu was on the menu. Another reason why to come back to Long Blue Line weekend. But the grads had a chance to sit with the basics. And I can tell you it was such a highlight for the basics. They were so excited to sit with graduates. And we still had a few tables that could bring in more graduates next year. So certainly think about that. And then following that, we had a big ribbon cutting, Wecker Hall, as you know, Vince, where we are able to work. We actually welcomed our lead donors for that. And we're so excited to now, as basically an entire staff be in one building. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And the remarkable thing about this Gradcast today and talking about Worker Hall, the technology that is in this studio allows us to do what we're doing while you're in North Dakota and I'm here in Colorado Springs. This all is possible because of this beautiful building.
Yes, we're so grateful for Dr. Wecker and many others that came together to make this possible. So, following that ribbon cutting, we had an amazing awards night. So, we had
Yep.
our Long Blue Line Awards night, which is all encompassing of our Distinguished Graduate Award. But prior to that, we did feature our Young Alumni Excellence Award winners and our Leadership Achievement Award winners. So, we really captured graduates from all the way from 15 years post graduation to mid career professionally, and then really those Lifetime Achievement Awards. It was such an incredible night, Vince.
It was a great night, and we welcomed into our distinguished graduate circle Jerry Bruni and General Bill Beggart, which both gave beautiful and wonderful speeches, which are on our YouTube channel and soon to be on our website. But a couple days after the distinguished graduate dinner, Bill Beggart lives in Maine during the summer, and I had a chance to sit down with him just at the end of last week, 2 days after that dinner, and talk more about it. And he even remarked over and over, Naviere, it was one of the most amazing and special nights of his life and his career. And he's a retired 4-star general. So for him to say that, it was very touching.
Absolutely. I think the sentiment in the room, and I'm really excited that our listeners will get to see those or listen to those videos, but, they really, both of them really talked about service. And I think that's something that is just in the bloodline of all of our academy graduates is just a lifetime of service. And so, having the opportunity to hear that from them and really kind of challenge us to think about, how do we do more? And it really is through service. So I'm so excited that he shared that with you. And then really recapping the end of that weekend after that amazing night was the actual Long Blue Line leadership conference, which really it is
Mhm.
again about service, right? We bring in all of our volunteer chapter presidents and some of their board members, our affinity groups, and really just those interested in our Long Blue Line that want to know more about what's happening at their academy. So it's a wonderful way to hear. We had the superintendent present and really a chance for them to come together and how they can continue to serve the Long Blue Line.
It truly is a great weekend. And if you have the chance next year, if you're listening to this Gradcast, come on out. You will not be disappointed. Well, other things that we needed to talk about in our update section is we've talked a little bit about it before, but it's up fully functionally, our new website, which the association and foundation is under that one umbrella, and so now is that website.
Absolutely. It's still USAFA.org. And, as we have transitioned to this, if you want to give us feedback, please feel free to. You can contact us. There's one specific link. It literally says contact us. You can give us your feedback. We want to continue to make sure it's meaningful and relevant and helpful for you. But we love that it's been streamlined and hopefully much more user-friendly.
No doubt. And also, we have changed up the social media channels just a little bit for each of the individual organizations. They have been deactivated, and now they're also under one umbrella.
Yes, I think it's really timely for this, Vince. I mean, I think we've heard it, right? There's confusion. Who's the AOG? Who's the foundation? And really it is about the association and foundation being, one team that does serve those two boards with those very specific missions. But I think it really streamlines it and hopefully deconflicts that confusion for our community.
No doubt. And if you have feedback, please reach out to us, as we'd like to hear it, good or bad. We can't make it any better without your feedback, or if there's problems, we can't fix it unless we know. All right. Well, usually we have a special guest or a special feature, but we're kind of holding back on that a little bit because Naviere, who's probably one of the best interviewers I know, is working on something pretty special.
Well, thanks so much for that, Vince. I'll slip you your $20 later.
Perfect.
But honestly, our special feature was a special recording with the superintendent, Lieutenant General Tony Bauernfeind, class of 91, came into the beautiful studio at Wecker Hall to record his mission brief and what's going on at the academy. I think it's an incredible way for our graduate community to hear and actually see some very specific presentation items that he provided and understanding what's going on in his mind. And so, Vince, one of my favorite things he shared in our Q&A, because we heard this from our graduates, was, what's going on with football and why are only some of the cadets marching? Well, one of the things the superintendent said right off the bat was, our grads will be happy to hear that all of our cadets will be marching at football games. And we're going to be giving all of our hometown our sport events, they're going to get a home field advantage because the cadet wing is going to show up. So I thought that was really great to hear.
That is great news. When I travel around the country, that is one of the most asked questions. So for you to get that out of him, well done, Naviere.
Yes, there's much more in that. I really encourage our grads to listen because he even talks about some of the questions that we've seen on our channels regarding civilian faculty and budget constraints and all of those things. So it's really well worth the listen.
Well, I can't wait either to hear it. And thanks for that nice tease. And I will be the first to tune in. Hopefully, our producer, Ted, will let me listen to it before anybody else.
Awesome. Up next on Gradcast, a message from our partners at the Colorado Springs Airport and events you won't want to miss.
With every departure from the Colorado Springs Airport, my heart skips a beat. With every arrival, I look forward to the easy drive home to my loved ones. It's like every new flight they offer is a new destination to discover. Fly Colorado Springs Airport and fall in love with Colorado's small airport today. Learn more at flycos.com.
Well, let's move on to events because we have, as usual, a lot going on.
Yep, the new season of football is upon us, and the Falcons have 6 home games this year, including rival Army on November 1st. We ask that you all join the association and foundation, as well as Air Force Athletics, for a season of tailgating fun. They're underway.
Yes, we're really excited because this year we've continued to evolve our tailgate experience and the partnership we have with the Athletic Foundation. It's incredible. And so when you come into Falcon Alley, you're going to have an experience that really is special. You're going to have jump, play areas for the families. You're going to have good food, great camaraderie with other graduates and others. And so it really is going to be a wonderful time in Falcon Alley. So be sure to go at usafa.org and under events and go ahead and register for those tailgates.
Let's not forget about the face painting.
Oh, yes. How did I miss that?
On your face this season, I'll do like a Joe Falcon or something like that.
Joe Falcon and a Jumbotron because, we still want to know what else is going on out there on those Saturday mornings. So
no doubt. Yeah. And let's not forget our away tailgate this year, too, at the Naval Academy in early October. So this Gradcast is not just for people living here in Colorado Springs. It's around the country and around the world. Come help and support your Falcons at Navy this year. We could use your help.
Absolutely. And speaking of being on the road, I just wanted to highlight this. I'm heading to DC. If any of you are participating in the Air, Space, and Cyber Conference put on by the Air and Space Forces Association, September 22nd, I believe, through the 24th, that Sunday evening, we are having a USAFA grad networking social. We're going to be at the Gaylord in the Belvedere Bar. Just want to make it an opportunity for grads to come together and network before that event. So watch on usafa.org for that event. You can register for it. It's actually going to be at no cost for our graduates. We just want to register to make sure that we have enough food and a good time for our grads. So be sure to check that out. That's in DC at the Gaylord in National Harbor.
I love that we're doing these kinds of things. Grads ask for it all the time. So well done, Naviere. And as she said, register and enjoy mingling with other grads. It's what we do here at the association and foundation.
Yes. And while this isn't an event that we're putting on, I think it's certainly one to bring up. The class of 2027 just had their commitment dinner. They stepped into that first class of their 2-degree year and have now committed to serving in our Air and Space Force, for the duration after their academy graduation.
Perfect. Well, let's move on. Calls to action. And did you know the association and foundation are celebrating 30 years of the Sabre Society? I can't believe it's been around that long, Naviere.
It's incredible. And, and maybe Vince, you can talk a little bit about what the Sabre Society is. I think that's always helpful for our graduates to hear about.
No doubt. For the last 3 decades, the Sabre Society recognizes those who make annual leadership gifts to support the Academy. It's cadets, it's graduates. Now, Sabre Society members commit to $1,000 every year. And it doesn't have to be $1,000 all at one time. You can break that down over every month. But being a Sabre Society member has helped drive innovation, elevate training, enhance the cadet experience. The Sabre Society's 30th anniversary is a great time to give back. If you're a Sabre Society member, you know who you are. Whether you're going to renew your commitment or join for the first time, your donation is an investment in the Academy, its mission, and its people. And that just goes to help cadet programs that aren't always necessarily funded by the federal government. The superintendent gives us a list of priorities that he can't cover. We get one from the dean, the commandant. So it's truly making a difference here at USAFA.
Right. And I think it's really important that, our listeners know that we are so grateful for the ways that they can give. And so in the ways that Sabre Society, what are the kind of the value that we bring to that? I think that the special speakers that the Sabre Society gets to hear from, they also have an opportunity to get special updates from our CEO. So I think that, we recognize what giving means, and we want to make sure that we are also giving back to them as well.
Without a doubt. It's a great program, and it's probably the number one priority of our association and foundation right now moving forward.
Right.
Hey, Naviere, I'm going to grab my cup of coffee, and I am just going to have Ted turn off my microphone so you can do what you do best. You work your magic and you spin that how we stay connected.
Well, before I do, I want to highlight the Long Blue Leadership Podcast, because we have coming up next week, Nicole Ayers, Vapor. She is one of our Young Alumni Excellence Award winners. She comes to us in her podcast from space. So I highly recommend that you listen to that. We're actually kicking off Long Blue Leadership Season 4 on September 2nd, and we're going to add some additional focus on leadership opportunities because our grads have really enjoyed hearing the leadership stories and journeys of other grads, but they also want to have these specific focus items on how they can continue to develop as leaders. So we're really excited to launch Season 4. But now that Vince has had his cup of coffee in front of him, here we go with my calls to action and how you can stay connected. First off, go to our website. We want your feedback on how we can, have that information readily available to you. That's at usafa.org. You can always get in touch with Vince and I by emailing us at gradcast@usafa.org. We want to make it simple for you to give us feedback in one location. You can connect with other graduates in the portal. The Long Blue Line portal is where you can connect with grads. You can mentor cadets, and that's easy for you to access through portal.usafa.org. just find a way to get through to Vince and I because we want to make sure we're bringing you information that's helpful and relevant.
Naviere, that was awesome. I had time to go walk down the hall to our little coffee machine called Roger in our break room.
Yes.
Fill up a nice latte and come back in the time you did that. That was amazing.
Well, that's because Roger is so efficient because I did that quite efficiently. So
yes, you did. Well, I think that is going to do it for our August edition of Gradcast.
I'm Naviere Walkewicz, class of 99.
And I'm Vince Greco. Until next time,
we'll see you
on Gradcast. I think we should leave it like that.
Oh, I agree with that. I think it's fun.